Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I'm very happy to talk to you at this moment.
And we are ecstatic to speak with you.
Thank you. So I want to start from the end, which is
You want to start from the end?
from the end, meaning some information you just now gave.
Yes.
I'm a bit discombobulated here.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
The perfect state to learn something new. Discombobulation.
Yeah, thank you. I agree. So if the Atlantis, you mentioned you cannot be those who were because they exist right now in
Yes.
the present, because everything is in the present.
Yes.
Yet in your 15-minute teaching, you spoke of rising, Atlantis
Of
rising.
course, we have to communicate to you in your language and in your concepts for you to have something to make sense of. But even though we may use your language of past, present, and future, doesn't mean that that's an actual description of the mechanism. Doesn't mean that's an actual description of existence. It's just a convenient way to get an idea across to you in your language, in your reality. So yes, of course, we will use colloquial language in your society to make a point. But don't let that fool you, and don't let that make you forget what we're explaining about the underlying mechanism.
So does it mean that the conscious will be imprinted or affecting us as we are here now?
Only if you make a connection to be affected. That's how the effect happens. You have to agree to connect vibrationally with something in order to create an effect in your life. Nothing can affect you if you don't match the frequency.
So I'll take it back to the question, what does it mean, arise Atlantis?
It means that you, and many of you, are choosing a particular path that will, in a sense, rebirth the same kind of energy, the same kind of vibration, the same kind of reality that many Atlanteans also experience, in order to express it in your reality in a way that you prefer, in a way that represents your ability to create a beautiful, creative, loving, and peaceful society. And therefore, colloquially, that can be referred to as a rebirth of Atlantis, because that's what you're taking your cue from.
Beautiful, I understand.
Yes.
I understand that.
Yes?
So I'll take one step into the mechanism versus experience.
Yes.
So you mean the mechanism is the entity who have been an expression of some sort, and if I link to that entity or their consciousness,
Yes.
that is the experience.
Then an experience results from that linkage.
So the mechanism is?
The mechanism is your ability to link. The mechanism is based on the fact that everything exists all at once, and that you can link to anything because everything is right here, right now. And when you make the linkage, you're matching a frequency, and by matching a frequency, you're generating a particular experiential perspective. But the experience might be interpreted very differently than what the mechanism is that you're using, because you might be interpreting it through your particular perspective of space-time and reality. Mm-hmm. So you might be coloring it.
Yeah.
For example, again, if someone functions telepathically with someone else, often in your reality you say, well, that person is reading their mind. That's the way it feels. That's the way a description of an experience feels in your particular reality. I'm reading their mind. But you're not reading their mind. You are matching their frequency and having the same thoughts at the same time as they are in your mind.
Same.
You're mirroring their mind, not reading their mind. You're just reading your mind because you were so adept at mirroring theirs by matching their frequency. That's how telepathy works. Mm-hmm. So the mechanism is very different than the way people on your planet often describe the experience. The experience feels like I'm reading your mind. But that's a description of something that's not actually happening. The mechanism is that you're matching their frequency and mirroring their mind, and then for just reading your own mind, because you're having the same thoughts.
I understand. That's magnificent.
Yes,
It's a
that's the
concept that was not existing in most of our minds until I start hearing it from you.
Yes.
So it's beautiful. It's
Yes.
a hope.
It's simple.
Yeah.
It's understanding the nature and structure of existence. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And when you understand the nature and structure of existence, all of your confusion and your questions are answered because you can relate it to the structure. Go, does this make sense according to the structure? Yes, no. This part does, this part, that must be an old-fashioned interpretation. Mm-hmm. So the framework, the structure, allows you to filter and let go of outdated definitions and streamline them into what you call your 21st century understanding of how things work.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Does that help?
It does. Beautiful. Thank you for that.
You are very welcome. Is there something else?
Yes. So you described the Sasani people to be much more in a higher frequency, and therefore that's why you don't come face to face with us.
For now, yes, you have to raise your frequency for us to be a little bit more vibrationally compatible with you so we don't, by exposing you to our energy, burn you out.
So I know I'm still thinking linearly, but I would like to bring it up, so I hopefully will change that. Yes. So here's Darryl, who is channeling or connecting with you so you can deliver a message.
Yes.
Then there is Willa, who is 700 years
in the future,
upline, what she
Earth.
calls, right?
Yes.
So you're such an evolution, and she's also an evolution, and yet you're here. So I'm thinking linearly, and it looks like, oh my God, it will be so long until we get to that place.
No, not necessarily.
And yet, right. So I would like to connect those dots to see where is, it's a soup right now. It's all mixed, and yet it's a soup.
I assume it's tasty?
It could be, if I make sense out
all
of
right.
it.
Well, first of all, recognize the difference in frequencies between myself and Willa. Willa is of Earth. I am not. I'm in another dimension altogether that operates 10 times faster than yours. Mm-hmm. She lives on Earth, and even though the frequency of Earth 700 years in the future is a little higher than it is now, she's still of Earth. She's still relatable to you, in a way. Without the idea of us creating an experience of incarnation on your planet to learn what your society is like, I would be too alien to you, and you would be too alien to me. So having incarnations as experiences on your planet, such as the channel being my quote-unquote past self, allows me to absorb the information I need to understand your society sufficiently to have these conversations. Otherwise, they simply wouldn't happen. We'd be too different.
So why would you, it's a rhetoric question, why would you come forth if you're such a distance in frequency? I wanted to say it's almost unrealistic, though your message is beautiful.
How
and
we make contact with new civilizations. This is one of the ways. I'm a first contact specialist.
Yeah.
This is how we initiate contact when civilizations open themselves up and send out an energetic invitation. So the fact that we're talking to you is because of all of you. You invited us. We answered the invitation. Here we are. So it's not really unrealistic any more than you sending out a party invitation and somebody RSVPing.
Yeah.
Here we are. We've come to the party. You invited us. Should we go home?
Nope. You're very welcome to be here.
All right, then.
It's very welcoming.
It's realistic, isn't it?
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
it doesn't matter that we're from some other dimension. I specifically do this as my passion with other civilizations, including yours. So therefore, what you have gotten is someone whose job it is, in a sense, to contact civilizations who begin to open to encountering extraterrestrial consciousness. So it's not surprising. This is the time. Aren't you seeing, even in your own society, the idea of people opening up to the idea that you're discovering all sorts of other planets around other stars and going, well, there's got to be someone else out there. Well, here we are.
Yes.
At least one of us. And there are many more that you will encounter over time. Don't be impatient. Stay in the present. That's where everything will happen.
Yeah.
Now, Do remember, as has been said, though you may not have completely understood it when it was announced, what you call tomorrow night of your time, we will be talking about the idea of an opportunity to get a little closer. Midnight under the hunter's moon is a period and a vortex of heightened activity. We're not making any promises, but we are telling you, as many people have requested, can we start to really see some things? Can we start to feel some things? Can we interact a little more closely? The potential and the possibility and probability and relevance of that will happen in the time and place that we're going to designate in tomorrow's transmission. So if you want to heighten the vibration, if you want to open up the doorway to more opportunity to interacting physiologically and in other ways with different forms of extraterrestrial consciousness, we would suggest, but not insist, that you might want to take advantage of the where and the when of the invitation we're going to send you tomorrow night.
Beautiful.
All right?
Beautiful.
All right.
So I would end with one
Yes.
one little item here.
Yes.
So recently, when I speak a sentence, all of a sudden I get stuck without the word. The word is right there holographically in my mind,
Yes.
but it just doesn't come out. And
Then stop.
I do stop,
All right.
and then it comes.
Exactly. Because you stop trying to get it.
But it's kind of disturbing to know that
Why?
in the middle of a sentence.
So
they
what? Who cares?
I do.
Why?
Because I get the look.
So
You know,
what?
it's-
I guarantee you, whether you finish the sentence or not, you're going to get looks. Because you are getting stranger and stranger and stranger
You
as
can
you
say
expand
that
your
again.
consciousness.
Yeah.
So you're still going to get looks whether you finish your sentences or interrupt them or not. So
Yeah.
you might as well just go with the flow. There's a reason for it. Just go with the flow and you'll see.
Beautiful. I accept it. But with that, so I was troubled by that fact.
Yes.
I go to sleep and I lay down in bed and talking to myself and calling forth to whoever can help me.
Yes.
Perhaps if anything wrong with the brain to...
Nothing is wrong with your brain. We're scanning you right now. There's nothing wrong with your brain. You're doing fine. Relax.